For the Unit 4 Day 2 notes, talking about multiplying powers with the same base. So right here, if you look at example 1a, you have an x, and that is your base, and it's for all three of these terms. So x to the third times x squared times x to the fourth. So if you have the same base, x, you add your exponents. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 plus 4 would be 9. And you want to make sure that that 9 looks like an exponent. Now, in letter B, we see that we have the same base being multiplied, that little dot there. So I'm going to keep the 12, but I'm going to add the 4 and the 3. So the 4 and the 3 make 7. And then here we have a negative 5 times negative 5. We're going to keep that base the same, but we're going to take negative 2 plus 7, and that would give us a positive 5. For the last one in this section, we're going to do the 3's, rewrite that, and then negative 6 plus 4 would be a negative 2. But I can't have a negative exponent, so I put this over 1. I bring the negative exponent down and make it a positive, and then I put the 1 on the top. For example 2, we need to multiply the big 4 and the big 2 here. And we say 4 times 2 is 8, but we notice that we have the same base being multiplied, which means you have to add the 2 and the 4. So 2 plus 4 gives you m to the 6th. Again, for part B, we have 4 times 9, and that's 36. Then we have a common or same base of the z, so 5 plus negative 12 is a negative 7. But in the first lesson, we learned we can't have negative exponents. So we put this over 1. Now, the 36, it has a positive invisible 1 there, so I'm going to leave that on the top of the fraction. Then the z has a negative exponent, so I bring it to the bottom and I make it positive. Because I have a number and a variable in the top and the bottom here, I don't need to rewrite the 1. I can just leave it like this, and this would be my final answer. Okay, in letter C, we have to take the 4 and the 5, and we still multiply them because they're the bigger numbers. So we have 4 times 5 is 20. Then we have the two b's, b to the 4th and b to the 3rd. So we add, and we get b to the 7th. And then we have c to the 1st here, it's got an invisible 1, and c squared, and that makes c to the 3rd power. I do not have any negative exponents, so that is my final solution. Okay, in letter D, we need to multiply the big numbers. So 2, 9, and 3. So 2 times 9 is 18. And 18 times 3 gives me 54. Now, I see that I have different variables here. So I've got two a's and a b. Remember, I can only add exponents if I have the same base. So for a, I would do 1 plus 2 and get a to the 3rd. For b, I would get b to the 4th. And no negative exponents, so I can say that's my final solution. Okay, down here in E, again, we're going to add because we have the same base being multiplied. So A, 1/5 plus 2/5 is 3/5. Remember, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, your common denominator just stays that number. So I don't change anything, I just change the numerator or the top number only. Here I have 4/6 plus 1/6 with a common base of p. So 4 plus 1 is 5/6. Now, just kind of a generality, you want to make sure that your exponents look like exponents. So, like, I can tell that's an exponent because it's a smaller, it's written smaller than the a. It's up in the corner. Okay, if I had written it like this, that looks like it's part of the a, like it's just like part of that number. And I know it's a variable, but like it's just part of that whole thing and not its exponent. So let's just make sure that when we're writing our exponents, they do look like an exponent. Okay, so that's it for day 2.